Good morning, my dear students. This is Lakshminarayana from Department of Economics, Adhikavinaya University. So far, you are able to learn. You are already learned about the some concepts in first unit: the importance of agriculture economics, nature and scope of agriculture economics, switch theory of transformation of traditional agriculture towards the modernization, and Lewis model of in agriculture and industry dual sector model. So, and other important concepts are woven from the first module in regarding production economics and farm management subject. So, today in this lecture, I would like to explain the from second module, that is resource use efficiency of various combinations of inputs and output. So before going to the details, I hope you are all safe at your homes. So already university is ready to conduct examinations for the fourth semester of your seniors. The timetable also already given. So you may be. I wish you are all watching these videos and study material. At the same time, how to submit assignments also. So many number of people are sending assignments, but the two some of the students are not sending the assignments. So you have any problem, please call me. Otherwise, you have to submit the assignments. So now I would like to express my views regarding resource use efficiency. So before going to discussion, I would like to present my screen on resource use efficiency. I hope you are all able to see my screen here. So there, regarding resource use efficiency, there are three principles of resource allocation. Here all know. So about factors of production: land, labor, capital, and organization. So even though regarding agriculture economics, especially in agriculture, the main inputs are land, labor. Labor can be divided into two groups: hired labor and own labor. Within the hired and own labor, there can be male labor or female labor regarding gender issues. At the same time, some machinery also required for produce the agriculture products. There may be tractors, power tillers, or harvesters, and some other instruments of mechanization. At the same time, some other inputs like fertilizers, pesticides also needed. So, based on these inputs, output can be arrayed. So, which input combination is better to maximize the output? That's why there are some theories, some principles regarding the input combination and to maximize the output. So in this way, there are three types of resource allocation. If farmer produces many products on his farm, he also uses many inputs to produce each of his products. What is his product? Crop, either paddy, wheat, and some other crop. We assume that his object. Who was object? The farmer object. Farmer object is to maximize his profits from farming, and in this connection, we should note that only a particular combination of products and a particular combination of inputs used to produce each of the products included in the product basket will yield maximum profit. This is one assumption. So this lecture is devoted to the explanation of the principles which guide the farmer to select the desired output mix as well as the desired combination of inputs used for producing each of the products. So this lecture is devoted to the explanation of principles which guide the farmer to select desired output mix as well as the desired combination of inputs used for producing each of the products. There are three sets of conditions which should be simultaneously satisfied. If the profits are to be maximized, the technology is being given. Why? Because the technology need not to be taken again. So these are, one is the crop mix is such that under the given conditions, the total revenue received from is the maximum. The condition which ensure the production of such an output mix are called the principles concerning product relation. What is product relation? The crop mix is such that under the given conditions, the total revenue received from its the maximum. The condition which ensure the production of such an output mix are called the principles concerning product relations. So the second one is the various inputs used to produce each crop combined in such a manner that the total cost of producing a given amount of a crop is the minimum. The principles determining such an input mix are called the principles concerning factor relationship. And the extent of use for producing each crop is so that such that the gap between the total revenue received from it and the total cost of the inputs used to produce it is the maximum. The principles which determine the extent of input utilized or the resultant crop output are called the factor product relationship. So what are the three principles? Sir? One is product relationship, and the second one is factor relationship, and the third one is factor product relationship. These three principles are important concepts in resource use efficiency. Here the word factor is stands for input. Factor means input. Input means factor. So here factors of production, what are they? Land, labor, capital, organization. So for our study, in the foregoing analysis, we used only two factors, labor and capital. Land is fixed variable, technology is also given. So based on these three principles, we can say resource use efficiency in the form of the farmer. Production function is very important concept. By using production function, we can arrive resource use efficiency where the input combination or factor combination is good. So what is production function? Production function is a process whereby some goods and services called inputs, these goods and services are called inputs, are transformed into other goods and services called output. So here you observe clearly some goods and services in the form of inputs are transformed to other goods and services. Here, labor, land, some capital. In capital means tractor or fertilizers, pesticides. These are all under capital. So these will be transferred into output. That means we take example of paddy. So after paddy, it will come to the rice after some process. So some goods and services are transformed into other goods and services called out. So it is a one type of process. It is called production. If you clearly observe that, if we define the meaning and definition for the production function refers to the relationship between the inputs or input and the resultant output. So the production function is based on the idea that amount of output in a production process depends upon the amount of inputs used in the process. Here you are all know what is production function. The production function is nothing but the relationship between physical inputs and physical output is called production. What is which type of relationship? Functional relationship. The functional relationship of physical inputs and physical output is said to be production. So a production function may be expressed in three forms. It can be expressed in the form of arithmetic table. And second one is illustration through geometrically means of simple graph. And third one, shown through algebraic expression. I repeat again, a production function may be expressed in three forms. What are they? It can be expressed in the form of arithmetic table. Arithmetic table is nothing but table form. The relationship of input output can be shown in the table. The another one is illustration through geometrically by means of simple graph. By using graphs, we can say the relationship of input and output. And another one is shown through algebraic expression. Is nothing but it's by using some equations, by fitting some equations, we can say the relationship of production function. That is input and output relationship. These three are the ways of discuss the production. If you see the first one, what is that? Tabular form and graphical form. And the next one is equation form. So first one, arithmetic form. Here, units of fertilizers used. So units of fertilizers. First units 0 units. The total corn yield is 26. So the farmer want to use 1 unit of fertilizer. Then the total corn increased to 38 units. And the farmer again wants to increase another unit of fertilizer, that is 2 units of fertilizers. Then 47 units. Again in the 3 at the junction of 3 units, it is 52.5 bushels of corn, and at the 4th unit 54. So here you can observe when inputs are increasing, output also increasing. 26, 38, 47, 52.5, 54, like this. So this is called a production function expressed in the form of arithmetic table. So by using table also we can express our views about the input and output trigger. So the second one is regarding production function expressed in the geometric expression as a simple graph. Here by using this data we can express our view regarding the input and output. In x-axis, the quantity of variable input is showing in the x-axis, and the y-axis total physical product are shown. So by using these two values, we can arrive some graph. So some curve shape graph. So first it is increased, the second slowly continuously increased, but after some time it is stagnant and next. So this is a one another way to express the production function and the relationship of input and output. Another form is the production function may shown through an algebraic expression. That is, you can write this type of algebraic expression as y is equal to f of x, where y is equal to output, x is equal to input. F refers to function or depends upon or determined by. So you can read functional relationship f as function or depends upon or determined by. So here y is equal to f of x means y is equal to y depends upon x. Y is a function of x. Y is determined by x. That is the terminology you can use. Here output depends upon single factor. Why? Because x is a single input. Factor is nothing but input. In another case, y is equal to f of x1, x2, x3, and so on xn plus u. In earlier case, y is equal to f of x. It means x is only one variable, single variable, single factor. Here output depends upon single. But in this equation, y is equal to f of x1, x2, x3, and so on xn plus u. So this function means the output depends upon. Output means y. Output depends upon. F can be read as depends upon or function or determinant. Y is depend upon x1, x2, x3, and so on xn. So here this equation is showing x is not a single factor. It may be x1, x2, x3, and so on xn. So this is multi-variable, multi-inputs. So here in this equation, y is determined by number of inputs. Here u is uncontrollable factors. So these uncontrollable factors are represented by u, the term u. So another equation is y is equal to f of x1 comma x2 divided by x3 comma x4 and so on xn plus u. So the above procedure of depicting the production function implies that x1, x2 are variable factors while inputs x3 and x4 and xn are held constant. It means once use this type of by, only x1 and x2 are variable factors. The remaining factors are constant. Constant means there is no change. To express the quantitative relationship between the inputs and the output, the production function must be expressed algebraically. For example, y is equal to a plus bx. So y is equal to a plus. When this type of form will be used to express the quantitative relationships between the inputs and the output, the production function must be expressed algebraically. That is y is equal to a plus bx. This is our one type of algebraic form. It shows that output y is a linear function of input x. Y is equal to a plus bx is a linear form. That's why y is a linear function of input of x. What is a linear? Linear is nothing but it is a straight. If we show in a graph, it will become a straight line. Either one input is increasing, it will be increased, and what input is decreasing, it will be decreased like this. So there is some positive relations between any or negative relations, but it is a linear condition. Y is equal to a plus bx. So what are the production function possibilities? So if you see this table regarding production function possibilities, the first possibility is increasing production function with constant marginal returns to the variable input. What is variable input? Here we are taking into the account fertilizer, quantity of fertilizer in kgs. This is will be shown as x. So x is a variable input. What is x? Quantity of fertilizer. It is measured in kgs. Suppose there is no fertilizer or used, so that is 0. Total production of wheat kgs is 1200 kgs. That is yield per hectare, suppose. So then what is marginal product? What is marginal product is nothing but how much increase. So this is the first time. So we cannot calculate. That's why it is shown as dash. In the second case, quantity of fertilizer used as 10 kg. Then the wheat production is increased to 1260 kg per hectare. So here the difference between 1260 minus 1200, 1260 minus 1200 is 60. That is marginal product. How can you measure the marginal product? The change is in, suppose it is a Q1, it is Q2. Q2 minus Q1 is said to be marginal product. That is 60. So in another case, the marginal product is quantity of fertilizer is increased to 20 units. Then it is yield is increased to 1320. So at the same time, 1320 minus 1260 also 60. The difference is 60. So up to 30, 40, 50, they are increased. The quantity of fertilizer increased to 10 kgs. So each time the farmer is increasing the constant rate of fertilizer. At the same time, the total production also increased to 1260, 1320, 1380, 1400, 40, 1500. So the difference is every time is 60. So that's why farmer is using fertilizer at the changing rate is constant, marginal product is also constant. So, but production is increasing. That's why we are reading this title as increasing production function with constant marginal returns to the variable input. And this can be shown in graph. So, fertilizer in cases are shown in x-axis, on y-axis total production in kgs. So the relationship is like a straight line. So what is this? Everywhere the difference is 60. That's why the actually output is increasing, but the difference is same. So 10 units of inputs is used. You can observe easily. I don't want to explain so much. So this is the one type of production function. Increasing production function with constant marginal returns to the variable input. Another case is increasing production function with increasing marginal returns to the variable input. Here, the quantity of wheat of seed kgs 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. So, here the input is seed. First, he uses 10 kgs of seed, then 1000 quintals of wheat is produced, marginal productivity 0. When again he used to increase the seed uh, to 15 kgs, then the production is increased to 10, 1025. The marginal product is 25. Again, the seed is changed to 20 kgs. Then marginal product is 1075. Then marginal product is 50. 1075 minus 1025 is 50. So at the same time, in the last case, he uses used 35. 75 is the output. The margin product is 125. But everywhere the margin product is increased 25, 50, 75, 100 and 125. Every time the marginal product is increased. So in this case is increasing production function with increasing margin productivity. This can be shown in graph. So in the constant returns, the the diagram is looks like a straight line. But here the diagram is increasing trend. First slowly increased, then sharply increased. Same data you can use. You can also draw this graph. So can practice these two diagrams. There are two possibilities: increasing production function with constant marginal returns to the variable input, increasing production function with the increasing marginal returns to the variable input. Another possibility is increasing production function with diminishing marginal returns to the variable input. Here, the input is quantity of fertilizer. When zero fertilizer are used, total production of wheat kgs per hectare is 400. The marginal productivity is 0. When the farmer uses 10 kgs of fertilizer, total production increased to 900. The margin product is 500. How to arrive the margin product? 900 minus 400 is 500. When you use 20 kgs of fertilizer, the form marginal product is total production is increased to 1300. So total production increased from 900 to 1300. Total production increased, no doubt. But when compared with margin product, earlier case it is a margin product of 500. Now it is 400. 1300 minus 900. It is 400. Again, farmer wants to use 30 kg of fertilizer. Then total production again increased to 1600. But margin product is decreased to 300. 1600 minus 1300 is 300. So again, the farmers uses 40 kg of fertilizer. Now the total production increases to 1675. The margin product is 75. 1675 minus. In this way, again the farmer wants to use 50 kg of fertilizer, but total production is increased again to 1725. But margin product is 1725 minus 1675 is 50. So in this case, margin product is decreasing from point of starting 500, 400, 300, 75, 50. So that's why this production function is called increasing production. The production is increasing 400, 900, 1300, 1600, 1675, 1725. Marginal increasing production function with diminishing marginal returns too. Marginal returns is diminishing 500, 400, 300, 75, 50 to the variable input. This is one type of production. This can also shown in diagram. So the first total production is increasing, but here sharply increased. Later on, increasing but declining trend. So what is this type of graph? You can say increasing production function with decreasing margin production. So you can this can also take fertilizers on x-axis, take total production on y-axis. You can arrive this type of graph. Another production function is decreasing production function. So decreasing production function means negative product. So here in this case, dose of fertilizers are when he uses 11 kgs of fertilizers, then 1000 kgs of wheat he can produce. There is margin product 0. When he used to ready to use 12 kgs of fertilizer, then total production is declined 980 kgs. The actual margin product is minus 20. So everywhere every dose of input for 13, 14, 15, 16, total production also decreasing, margin product also decreasing at the negative rate, minus 20, minus 30, minus 40, minus 50, minus 1. That's why this production function is called decreasing production function. This can be shown in diagram also. So first 1000 units of production, then it continuously decline. So this graph is concave to the this type concave shape. So these are can explain all these diagrams. Once the first production function possibility is increasing production function with constant marginal returns to the variable output. Again, increasing production function with increasing marginal returns to the variable output. And third case is increasing production function with diminishing marginal returns to the variable input. The fourth case is decreasing production function. These four possibilities are margin. So you can show increasing decreasing production function in a single graph. If you take this graph, total production total production is On x-axis units of variable input, on the y-axis production is measured. So first TPP is a total production curve. APP is a average production curve. This is the MP, margin production curve. So in this case, total production is increasing, but after this point slowly increasing but slowly decline. After this point, this is saturation point, the increasing trend is stop, then continuously decline. So in the total production, first increasing stage, then decreasing, increasing but decreasing state. At after point B, it continuously decline. This is a production possibility, total production possibility. When if you want to use more inputs, the possibility for total production is first increasing, but increasing with decreasing rate. Then if you want to use more inputs, continuously decline in case of total production. So at the same time, by using this total production possibility data, you can say average production possibility also. So APP is average production possibility curve. APP average production is first increasing up to point C, then it is continuously declining. Average production is declining, so after some time it close to zero, but it may not be negative at any point. So we take margin product. Margin product also first increasing, later on decreasing. After that, it can be negative also. Margin product may be negative after some time. So when if you where total product is increasing trend is stop, then what is the point D? From this point to x-axis, can draw a line where the margin product and the average product are same at point C. So margin product is increasing up to this point F1. If you draw a line to total product curve to this point, so up to this point F and A, both these three curves are increasing: total production, average production, and marginal production. So, but total production also increasing, average production also increasing, margin production is decreasing. So up to point D, from point D to G, this space is, you can say, in the production function theory, stage 1. Why? Because these three production points are increasing. Some marginal production is decreasing, but there is no problem. The average production is increasing, total production is increasing. That's why this stage is called as stage 1. It is a rational stage. In the second stage, EP is equal to 1. So the average production also starting to decline, margin product also, but total production is increasing at a declining rate. It is a rational state. Why? Because if you want to use more inputs up to point E, so the total production at point B, it is a saturation point. After this point, if you want to increase more inputs, there is a negative results will come. So the farmer has to stop this point. That's why farmers has to increase their inputs up to this stage only. Once the marginal returns are declined, this is not advisable to go for more inputs usage. That is irrational stage. That is stage 3. In stage 3, total production is declining, average production is declining, marginal production is negative. Marginal production possibility is negative. So this is not good for farmer. So rational stage is good. Rational stage also optimum. So, but stage 3, rational stage is not suggestible to the farmers. Why? Because if we want to increase variable inputs, all the production possibilities are declining. Total production possibility, average production possibility, and marginal production possibility is entered into the negative. So that's why it is called increasing, decreasing production marks. So what is the relationship between total physical product, average physical product, and marginal physical product? So you can see in this table units of input. What that is workers. Workers is variable input. How many workers is here? 1 to 10. The total production in quintals. Total production possibility of X is also shown in this table. So you can arrive these two data. Average physical product can be arrived. So then by using this average physical product and the total production units, margin physical product also you can arrive. So first there is one labor, total production is 10 units, average physical product. Oh, how do you calculate average physical product? 10 by 1 is 10. Total production of quintals divided by units of input workers. This average physical product. Then margin product is 0. Again, the farmer wants to increase another labor, second labor. Then 2 labors. Total production increased to from 10 to 26. Then average product physical product is 26 divided by 2. That is 13. So then if you want to calculate margin physical product, 26 minus 10. 26 minus 10, that is 16. So in the farmer wants to increase one more labor, that is third labor. Then total physical product is 45. Total production is 45. The average production is 45 divided by 3, 15. So what is margin physical product? 45 minus 26, that is 90. So up to sixth labor, up to fifth labor, the average total product is 90. The average product is 90 by 5, 18. Again, at the time at the sixth labor also, total production is 108. But the average product is 108 minus 108 by 6 is 18. So same average physical. The average physical product is constant at fifth and sixth lab. But margin physical product is starting to decline. At the fifth labor, is 90 minus 68 is 22. At the sixth labor, 108 minus 90 is 18. From for starting to this point, the margin product is increasing 16, 19, 23, 22. This point at this sixth level is decreased. So it should be noted as region 1. The region 2, you can say that 7, 16, 14.2 is a declining trend. After that, at the same time, level 9, 0. The margin product is 0 at ninth level. But at the 10th level, there is a negative margin product or not -4. Here, average production is also declined. But average production never be 0 or never be negative. Maybe close to 0. That is 124 by 10 is 12.4 at the level. If you use more labor, average product may be declined, but it never comes to 0, never comes to negative. But marginal product is at that 10th level, it is negative. It is a irrational stage. So the farmer need to stop to increase the labor at the point 10. So up to 9 point, up to 9th labor, he can use, he can increase the labor. So whenever the marginal product is 0, then the farmer has to stop to increase the labor. This is the relationship of total physical product, average physical product, marginal physical product. So at the same time, this data you can use in the diagram. You can arrive this diagram also. So in the micro economics, you can say this theory is diminishing marginal utility theory, apple fruits theory. So in the agriculture economics, the same theory we can express in this way. So in next class, you can learn about factor product relationship, factor relationship, product relationship. So my dear students, this is about the resource use efficiency. I hope you are all learned this resource use efficiency theory, different possibilities of production function, definitions of production function, and relationship of total factor, total production possibility, average production possibility, margin production possibility, with diagram and table also you can express. So please write assignment on what are the possibilities of production function with the diagrammatic explanation. This is for your assignment. So the due date is September 6th. I hope you are all enjoyed this video. So if you are in this video you have any doubts, please call me directly or drop a message in a mail or drop a message in chat box in WhatsApp too. So there are so many modes. There is no restriction. There is no so even the pandemic, we are already trying to give some notes and video classes to you. So don't worry. So this is the one alternative to us. So please take care about your health, your family member health, and the health is very important. So don't go anywhere without urgency. So I hope you're all will be safe at your homes. Thank you.